Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. I am just making sure everybody is awake in Facebook land. It's about a 20-second to 1 minute delay, depending on how you're joining me. If you have any questions, I will be reaching out for those towards the end of today's live. Just getting you guys a link here. And what I ask is if you are joining me, I'm starting to see some of you pop in there now. Please, someone just let me know if you can see and hear me on the other end, and I will continue with my spiel. Am I coming up there? Should be by now. Yeah, so, and you've done the shares? Mm-hmm. Okay. So if you'd like to make a comment towards the end of the live, the only facility I'll see your comments is on Lifepro's main public page. So whether you're joining me through one of the private groups I've shared this in or through Lifepro's public page, the public page is where the comments are going to come through. So if anyone is joining me, let me see who's here. Oh, there's quite a few of you. Thank you for joining me. Amber launched this product yesterday in the VIP group as an exclusive thing. Roseanne did one this morning. She did a yoga flow lymphatic routine. Today, I just wanted to talk about a different option. So this is the new plate. I'm going to bring it a little bit closer. This is the VibraRed. Now, of course, there's not red light right now. Many of you know in my coaching sessions, the amplitude, the intensity is always in your control by putting your feet further apart or closer together. With this new red light option, you're kind of committed to where the foot position is. For me, this is just under 20 pounds. So it's what I would consider a compact. It is going to be great for those of you that like using it seated. This is going to be a great option for those of you dealing with deficiencies in the feet, for lack of a better term, the neuropathy, the tendonitis you might be dealing, plantar fasciitis. What's very cool about the new feature on this plate, so it's an oscillating plate, oscillating being the primary movement for the plates, but it's got a red light feature in these pads, and I'm going to turn that on. I want to see, I don't know how well you can see that on camera. I've got sunshine coming in, but you can see the red light. There it is. So you can use this without the plate in operation. So one of the things we know about red light, I know Lifepro tells you 30 minutes a day max, but there's really, you can't overdo red light. Red light is one spectrum out of our sun's light. And for those of you that are dealing with chronic inflammation, maybe you got some nerve damage, some, as I said, plantar fasciitis, you can use the red light function independently from the plate movement itself, or you can combine both. So what I will say, much like most of Lifepro's plate, this is going to put out probably a top frequency of about 12 hertz, 12 cycles per second on max speed. The presets on this are 99. So you've got 99 speeds where you can speed it up, slow it down. It's got 9 pre-programmed programs. It's also got a quick speed function, which I just want to show you very briefly on the remote. So let me see if you can see this. So in the very top of the remote control, there's really 2 really large emphasized play buttons is what it looks like. And it says speed. Can you see that? That's a quick start speed. So you can set that. Hang on, let me get it going first. What am I doing wrong? Oh, maybe I don't have remote. Oh, I bet you I don't have batteries in the remote. But this will preset it at speed 30. If you hit it again for a second time, speed 60. If you hit it again, it'll preset for speed 90. So instead of you hitting that up button 30, 40, 60 times kind of thing. Like any vibration plate, if you're a new user and if you're dealing with chronic issues of any kind, I don't care what the label is. If you're managing symptoms, doing extra self-care, those types of things, I would recommend being conservative. Not starting slow, being conservative in how long you use the plate and what intensity you're using. So 2 to 3 minutes on something like this. Where am I today? I'm on location. You guys joined me here last week, but to me, when I saw this new plate show up at my house, I thought this would be perfect before a foot treatment. So whether that's a pedicure, Okay. Perhaps you're doing a manicure. While you're getting your hands worked on, you could have this under the station and put the feet on it. But I think for those of you that are dealing with chronic inflammation in the feet, this is going to be a good seated model at home in front of the chair, under your desk. And if you do want physical movement, as I said, cleverly designed with this, you don't have to use both features. Some models you have to use both features. You don't have a choice. So this one, if you want to just use oscillating movement, you press the red lights off. You can use that on its own, and you can add that at any time throughout the course of your session. I would recommend starting out at a mid-speed range. I'm not going to get into a huge demo. You guys have seen me demo machines a bazillion times, but bring your feet more functionally hip width apart. Forget about the red lights for now. If you're finding it too aggressive on any speed, too much movement, wide, just like a teeter-totter, is more impact, more movement. You're always in control with your foot position. So just bring it slightly closer to the center. Bend those knees slightly. You'll notice the taller you stand, the more you'll hear to my voice as well. If you have head sensitivities, ear, teeth, anything like that, and you're sensitive to head vibration and you're feeling it in your head, relax. The other thing that we do by instinct is we guard and we protect, especially ladies. Got all that tension in our neck and our shoulders, the bra, the purse, and we have a tendency to like tense up and fight the vibration, and all we do is actually amplify it because you're rigid and the muscles aren't accepting the movement, you're fighting it. So just relax. Make sure your pelvis is in a neutral position. You're not too far back where you're feeling that arch in the back. You shouldn't be leaning so forward that you're slouching, just like our children that aren't listening. I'm teasing my daughter off camera. But those knees are slightly bent. The difference between feel-good, therapeutic, symptom management, and fitness isn't how long you go. It's not a speed. It's what you do on it. So if you want to lose 60 pounds, try squatting a little bit, engaging those large muscle groups in the thighs and the glutes to burn more calories. Oh, Debbie, I got a bad knee, or I got a bad hip, or I got a bad ankle. I'm not saying that you maybe squat as low as me. I want you working within your own range of motion. And if you do have a deficiency, it's not when your thighs or your butt get tired. If you've got a bad knee, a bad hip, a bad ankle, listen to that. That's your fatigue point. And what you may find if you are dealing with joint issues and you want to start doing some fitness, maybe more frequent, lots of little reps versus a long drawn out session is going to be kinder on the joints. So maybe you're doing 2 to 3 minutes a few times a day the first week or two and building from there. When you're first starting out with a plate, whether it's something that offers new technologies or not, you need to give your body time to become accustomed to each technology. So if you're brand new to red light and you're brand new to vibration plate, think of them as two separate therapies, and very common. Everybody just cranks everything up thinking they're going to make up for 10, 15 years of not doing the self-care, if you will. I would suggest if you are dealing with chronic issues, if you're on medications that make you photosensitive, contraindications on the vibration plate. I did a huge session last week. There are no such thing as contraindications, but there is common sense. If you are advised to reduce activity, you've been advised by your doctor to do specific activities, low impact or non-weight bearing, though it's the activity guidelines that you need to have that discussion with your doctor about. A vibration plate is just a way to be active. You need to make sure your doctor's okay with you resuming activity and to what degree. On the vibration plate, it's a matter of maybe modifying for the deficiencies. Maybe you're doing partial weight bearing and sitting in a chair versus standing, which is full weight bearing. So it really depends on where you're coming from. If you're looking for use for any specific medical condition of any kind, I've done a number of sessions on just red light therapies. I've also done a number of sessions on vibration plates, and I've also done a number of sessions on combining those two technologies. So maybe you're using a panel or a red light belt. This is kind of cool. Yes, it is just going to specifically address the feet. But it is a common area of concern, especially for some of my aging population. Maybe you've had trauma, surgeries, things like that, or perhaps you've developed, drop foot, neuropathy, some of these conditions specific to it. So for the red light, I'm going to say, use it as often as you need. You can overdo anything, and if you are overdoing it, red light is very good at boosting the powerhouse of the cell's function, the mitochondria. So it's going to make whatever work the cells need to do better after they've been exposed. So if you're heading out for a walk and balance is an issue or sensitivity is an issue, a couple minutes on your plate before you head out the door using the red light is going to warm the feet to a degree, but it is going to activate that mitochondria. What the vibration plate does better than anything else is it primes that central nervous system. It makes it more ready for whatever you're going to do next, whether that's a workout on your plate or maybe you're heading out for a walk or other activities. The fact that they are combined does make it a little bit more bang for your buck for those of you that have been looking at incorporating red light with your vibration plate session, but it is a specific purpose tool. I have dropped the link for this product. It is a Lifepro website exclusive in the US, so you're not going to find this product on Amazon. I think it's on sale for $244 US. It's about 60-70 bucks off today. That is the launch price. One kind of strange point as the vibration plate person, there's different things that sometimes I seek or I look for in a vibration plate. And one thing I really enjoy about this model is how rectangular it is. If you've watched any of my sessions about selecting the right plate in the past, sometimes you got big feet in the house and some of the curved or the smaller edge styles don't accommodate a wider foot position. What I do like about this is the surface as to where you place your foot for that amplitude you're not going to run out of plate space. I love a square or a rectangular shape on my plate. It's just my thing. And it comes in at 19.2 pounds. So for those of you wondering about portability, the weight capacity on this one is 220 pounds. So that's the only consideration. If you are a taller user, you're carrying a few more pounds. It's not a hard stop. That doesn't mean if you exceed 220 pounds, you cannot use it. But you may, for a period of time, need to use it seated or, put half a body on an aerobic step or something. But know that it does have a lower weight capacity than, let's say, the Mini or the Waiver or some of the Rumblexes, definitely. So I've enjoyed playing with this. I took it out of the box yesterday. There is a bit of a typo I want to highlight in the marketing. It is being marketed as red light and infrared. That is a typo that will be corrected. It doesn't really make sense, in my opinion, to be putting red light into something or infrared like this. You're only using it for 2 to 3 minutes at a time. To me, infrared's a little bit of a longer time commitment. So sorry to disappoint if you were looking for that, but I never really dreamed of putting infrared into vibration plates. But I enjoy the appeal of the red light as an option. So this is just red light and oscillating movement. I just wanted to clarify that. I'm going to jump to questions here very briefly. Hello, JJ. My lymphedema is in your legs and your feet. I'm going to scroll back up to the top here. So yes, I've dropped the link. And for those of you that are just getting started or not sure where to start, I've dropped my short 6-minute crash course on how to get started seated or standing. Elizabeth says she can see and hear us. Thank you. Hello, Vicky. Miss Consistency. Nice to see you here. Loved your moves the other day in the VIP group. Aubrey says, is this pretty much the same as original Waiver with oscillation, but similar movement? Yes, that's correct, Aubrey, but it's not as large as the Waiver. It's a little bit smaller. And I think it's about 8-9 pounds lighter than the Waiver, but same type of movement. Absolutely. JJ says, I do have a question. How does the red light help along with having lymphedema? Have been diagnosed with and just literally ordered the Waiver and just saw this. I think you're better off long-term with the Waiver. This to me would be the perfect second or therapeutic use only. I have my own large private support group that supports a lot of lymphedema. The key with lymphedema is getting lymph moving that circulation. So when you move, lymph moves. And I encourage using your Waiver often in short sessions as symptoms present. So whether it's fatigue, increased swelling, pain, a lot of my members are using their plate 2 to 3 minutes as needed throughout the day to manage symptoms. The fitness and the exercise being above and beyond that. I hope that makes sense. If you want to go into the group, JJ, and search Debby And lymphedema, you're going to see several past sessions. Probably the better place would be to search the YouTube channel, but I've done a couple dozen sessions specifically on conditions like lymphedema, lipedema, Ehlers-Danlos, Hashimoto's. There's a lot of complementary conditions. I hope that answers your question. And if it's only in your legs or your feet, you're still going to get lots of lymphatic movement. What you may want to consider longer term, instead of the vibration plate, I do think the Waiver is a better vibration plate platform, especially if you're looking at progressing to lots of standing or eventually some fitness. You may be more interested in perhaps one of the red light belts. So then you can access red light and use it on other parts of the body. This is more body part specific tool where it's ideally being administered to the feet. But the rest of the legs, you might find it a little bit more challenging. So you might find other products, even just some of the bulbs, the smaller panels, those type of things. I like to use my BioHeal panel while I'm doing my vibration plates. It's set up on the floor, so I'm getting more of a total body effect. How is red light going to help a condition like lymphedema? Very, very good at curbing inflammation. As I said earlier, it helps the mitochondria function more optimally in your cells. It's a passive therapy. So sometimes you're maybe dealing with an injury or a recovery situation where you're unable to be physically active and moving lots. It's going to fit the bill that way. Red light is also very well known and studied for accelerating wound healing. So if you've got sores or things of that nature on the skin surface, it's going to be effective at helping expedite recovery on those types of things as well. I hope that makes sense. JJ says, well do. Yeah, take a search. I've had a little bit of a mishap. I personally must have said something and pissed off the Facebook gods this morning. So I'm banned from making a comment in Facebook until next Tuesday. So I do want to get back to you if you do have specific questions and you're watching this on a live recorded basis, perhaps. Tag me at Debby with a Y. I will do my very best to get back to you sooner than later. Maybe I make up a new profile tonight. I'm not sure. But unfortunately, there's something that I've said or shared that has upset the Facebook gods, and I personally am unable to comment until next Tuesday. So please just keep that in mind. I do have access to my messages, though. So if you had a question specifically that you wanted to ask me, or maybe you didn't want to ask in front of everyone publicly, please feel free to just drop me a direct message until I get this Facebook thing sorted out. Hello, Miss Wilson. Thank you for doing some commenting in my groups today, considering I'm not able to do so. So again, this is on sale for a limited time. This is a Lifepro direct only product. If you've been considering something more therapeutic, you've been looking at a second machine, you do deal with ongoing foot issues, the neuropathy, the drop foot, whatever it may be, I think that you will find this is a great addition to your self-care lineup. And as I said, if you do have any questions, please just let me know. Where I have been for the last couple of weeks in my hometown, I just wanted to say thank you very much to Andrea and maybe introduce her. Do you want to come over, ladies, and say hello? And gentlemen, I brought donuts, so they're chewing donuts right now, and that's okay. Just come say hello. This is my good friend, Andrea.
Hello.
Tell us where we are.
You're at Strawberry Spa and Wellness Center in Didsbury, Alberta.
And if you need any kind of spa treatment and you are local in my area, it's certainly worth the drive. I'm about an hour north of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. So anywhere in this area, I highly recommend you check out Andrea. She's not only a very, very good esthetician, but she's an amazing human being and has been kind enough to open her energy and her space to me, which can be taxing on the best of days. So thank you for your generosity. And I've made a new friend in my own hometown that I never knew before last month. So, and guess how we met? We were at the hospital with a mutual friend who has been having a hard time. And Andrea was like all excited telling me about this vibration plate she got, and she did her homework, and this company Lifepro, as far as she could see, was the best. She ended up taking home the regular hexaplate model, which is out of stock in both countries right now. But what a small world that I do videos with Lifepro. She just bought a Lifepro on Amazon here in Canada, and now I'm in her spa. So I look forward to great things. Day. She uses it every day, and we were just doing like some Kegels and some squats and some different things. I've got the big Rumblex 4D behind camera, but I wanted to give my estheticians and those of you out there, you know, if you're in a situation like Andrea where you work your butt off and you're a single salon owner, you know, anything that you can add to your time with your clients that don't require your physical time. This is a great, you know, maybe you're running a little bit late between appointments, or you've got somebody that's always got cold or tense feet. You know, a few minutes on this prior to your other treatments is a great way to prep the body, or even as a recovery afterwards to, you know, expedite that lymph recovery and those types of things. So it was so fitting that we had these beautiful pedicure chairs in the background to give you a big hint. So thank you for allowing me to do this in your space today. And I'll let you get back to your work. Thank you. I put her on the spot totally there. Isn't she wonderful? I'm going to leave it at that unless you do have other questions. And I don't know when I'm going to be here next week. I've done a lot of regular how-to videos. I did contraindications. I did medical use last week. I want to hear from you guys. So how about let's get some engagement going on Lifepro's page and get them found on Facebook. If you are joining me today, please let me know where you are joining me from. If you are not a member of the Lifepro VIP group, there has been a backlog, and I'll tell you what it is. You need to complete all 4 questions. You need to complete an email address. And here's a big hint. I know many of you don't want to give an email address. As long as you fill in all 4 blanks, you're going to get in. So hint, hint. So for those of you that have maybe been declined or waiting forever, if it's been more than a couple of weeks, delete your request, apply again, fill out all 4 questions. I know you may not want to give an email address, but put something in that spot and it should be an automatic approval to get you in. If that's not the case, let me know or directly message me and I'll see what I can do to get you expedited. Until next time, guys, have an awesome day. I will see you next week for something vibration plate related. And I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Gavin's here from Buffalo, New York. Thank you, Gavin. And I appreciate your question. Have a good rest of the day, guys.